Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moon Ride, where we're channeling the man in the moon. So, if you're feeling super stressed, you're not alone. This really is an important time, an important moment of structural change, and you will absolutely be feeling this. I have had most conflicting emotions, stress feelings, really needing to take a little bit of time off. So, if you do feel that way, recognize that everybody I'm speaking to is feeling exactly the same way. You're not alone, right? So hopefully that joins you in some unity. Today I'm going to just take a look and see what is on our horizon politically. Okay, the usual Trump nonsense. He's running around. Now he's got a fly swatter in his hand and he keeps trying to hit the flies. Um, this kind of just has a feeling of the things that you're doing are really irritating, but they're pathetic and they're details, right? So I thought that sounds lame. He's trying to curb our vote, but look how badly he did that. If he'd just been quiet and sabotaged the post office, maybe we wouldn't have noticed. But he's such a dope that he says what he's going to do and it creates a reaction. You can be sure that him doing that will actually get even more people to vote against him, right? Because now people are getting more and more worried that their vote might not count. We can count on the Dems for showing up. They don't always show up, but finally they showed up, and they stopped him. So, understand that there's this problem, and then there are a solution. So we have to have these forces of dark and light. We wouldn't learn otherwise. Okay, he's swatting the flies. It's really funny. Imagine this guy running around the White House trying to catch a fly. It's just like you could run for miles trying to swat that fly. And of course, he's going to swat it on like a picture of George Washington and miss, and it's just like so vulgar and vile, but also really quite pathetic. He's chasing flies now. Huh. This is really interesting. And I'll just tell you, the immortal, Lena Rodriguez and I have been talking about this a little bit. I didn't really think about this, but she's noticed there's a possibility that the Republicans will not nominate him. It's possible. I don't think it's likely. But Lena pointed out that, what would you do, Dave? Well, the last person you want going in this election is Trump. If you're a senator, maybe you can't get him out of there. In another way, maybe you don't want to impeach him because that's going to be bad. But it actually might be better. I don't necessarily think this is going to happen. But people like Mark Meadows are thinking about it. They are looking every direction to see what's going to be what's my escape here. And you might be connected in some very illegal acts with Trump. That if you get rid of him, the illegal acts will not be. Nobody's gonna take you to court because Trump will already be in jail, right? So these guys are people are seriously thinking of their survival. They're going beyond the political, and they're starting to think, "Wow, do I want to go to jail or not?" It's obvious he's going to lose. It's obviously I'm gonna face these consequences. Mark Meadows, I think Lena might be right about this one. And again, Lena did not say this was going to happen. She just said there's a percentage, 3% possibility that's could happen. But what I find interesting is this that he's seriously. It's almost like that sneaky guy looking sideways, thinking about what he can do. Well, Mark Meadows, why don't you just tell me what you're going to do? Okay, he's drawing a little house. Oh, maybe it's the White House. Ha. Okay, look, I mean, just think of this as a metaphor, like a child drawing a little house and wondering who should live in that house. So I think that there are some people considering this. There are people who are thinking about getting rid of him. I don't know if they'll do it. Are you going to do it, Mark? Huh. It's not clear. Again, triangles and circles and things. I don't necessarily know what this means yet. I'll tell you as somebody who channels every day new images come for me that have new meanings. It's like learning a new language. Then I haven't figured out what the circles and triangles mean yet. Circles, triangles. They're kind of going circle into the triangle, circle outside the triangle, circle inside the triangle, outside. To me, this means like a it will be a it's being considered. Mitch McConnell saying no, but he has thought about it. He's just really trying to think of how do we get rid of this guy. Any way possible, we want to get rid of him. Mitch would actually be kind of relieved if the Republicans lost, because at this point Trump is so hard to manage. He'd just do anything. I mean, he's got a hard job. I'm not having any sympathy for him, but he's got this job where it's really, big consequences. So he's really wondering, how do I get this? How do I get this done? What's the least loss? So let's just ask if there's anything more for Trump. There's like an explosion over his head. This gives me a feeling of him having like a really psychological meltdown. It is possible that he'll have some kind of a breakdown. Because as it gets closer to the election, he really is looking at prison. So nothing's working. He's tried a bunch of different things to get around this, and it's not working. At the banks, he could just go bankrupt. He can't do that now. Yeah, crying. He's crying like a baby. Mm. Wow. So one thing that it's good to understand is like now he's like taking a TNT to a pyramid image. And if you think about you look at the dollar bill and you got that pyramid on it. Think about that. He is now getting to the point where he will destroy. He will destroy the country before he is taken out. So people who are Republicans have to think that they're going to be responsible for that. They're going to have to pick up the pieces. They're like, what if there is a revolution, civil war going on? Where will that put me? It could really happen. He is dynamiting things. It goes along with the destruction of the post office. But, maybe even in a positive way, we might think our society had to change. So don't think of Trump as some, just a fascist dictator wannabe. But it's also, hey, America, what do you want? Maybe you need to destroy these structures and start again because they're not working. Our society is no longer working for us. And, sometimes things have to be destroyed to be built again. I'm not saying that this is going to be a good thing for anyone, but it might be just a necessary. For all those people who are suffering, I don't want to give any approval to Trump or say that it's okay. I don't think that we understand karma. That's too broad a term for human beings to really grasp. So, if you're suffering right now, please don't think that this is just a thing or you deserve it. You deserve all the sympathy in the world. And there's a lot of you people suffering out there, man. A lot of people suffering. I feel it every day. So, but on a positive, at least we're changing. Think of even the vice president. Here we have a woman. Here we have a woman who is a variety of gene pools. Has that ever happened? No. I mean, I can't think of even a president who had a variety of gene pools, not a single one other than Obama, of course. So what's following? Well, now we actually have a woman, and she's also a person of color, and she has an Indian descent, and she's from Trinidad. So there's a good deal of good stuff going on there. You might think of her as a harbinger for a new vision, and there are more progressive people than her, which I would prefer in some ways. But I see her as a strong person. That's why Kamala Harris is important, because she is unflinching, and she's married to a husband that's not Protestant or Catholic. So I mean, this is a big deal. If just symbolically, but also if just to empower all those varieties of minority, people who are mixed race, people who are married to husbands who have different religions, all of that stuff, at least in reality, is coming forward. I don't know what she's going to do as VP, but I like the fact that she's strong. This is an important moment. And it's really important for women to be represented. Even if it's not the perfect, progressive that I wanted, I'm glad that there is a woman being represented. It's about time we had that in our society. Okay, what else? Yeah, don't be surprised if Kamala does a better job than people expect. And I'm sick and tired of people telling me that she's going to be the real president. No, she isn't. Biden is going to be the president. Okay, he'll be a little bit of a wet noodle. But one thing about Biden is he's at least smart enough to call in decent people to help him, unlike another president I know. All right, anything else we need to know about America? You might think of America after the Civil War. Things needed to be repaired. They needed to be remade. There was still tons and tons of corruption. African Americans did not get what they needed after that Civil War, and we need to change that for African Americans and minorities and basically everyone. Our votes need to matter now, and they haven't. They didn't in the last election, so now they do. Our voices need to be heard. Understand also the unity that has been created. Okay, the Democratic Party is one that has to bring a coalition of many different people in order to function, right? It's not just like one item. You have to have many items that bring these people together, and it worked. So that is America right there, a perfect microcosm of going from fairly, centrist conservative to really progressive, even left of progressive. That's the Dems right now. So that's what's supposed to happen in a democratic society. We have our disagreements, but we come together and we respect each other's right to disagree. All right, so think of that. And again, in another good way, one thing that'll really help you get through this difficult time is to look at the positives that are happening because they're really there. We're just so freaked out we can't see them. It doesn't mean you just sit around and not do anything. You do have to act, but it'll really help if you see the other side and think, what am I learning? What's America learning? Maybe this has stopped America from doing some harmful things abroad. And I'm just kind of curious now to see if there's anything beyond this particular topic. Ivanka's daughter, Trump's daughter Ivanka's getting a haircut? What does that mean? Okay, and she's got that long hair. It's like this. She's scared. I mean, it's almost like get your hair cut before you go to prison. Like, because somebody's going to pull on it. That's like, literally, that's like the feeling that I get. She is preparing for jail. You notice you never hear her speak anymore? She's worried. She's worried about her children. She's worried she won't be able to see the children. She's worried that they will lose their money and status. And Kushner is really worried. And well, he should be. Kushner's going to go to jail. He will go to prison. And I can see, like, striped suit prison. He'll be that guy in prison that they have to protect so that he doesn't get beat up. And he'll be horrified at going there. It's quite ironic since his father went there for criminal acts. He might try to off himself before or in prison. Don't be surprised if he tries to off himself. Is there anything else we need to know about the world right now, Spirit? There will be a lot of changes on the planet in terms of political relationships and allies. These are shifting very quickly. And I think that's one reason why we keep seeing shifts. And when I say we, I mean other people doing this work are seeing lots of shifts. This ship is pulling into a port and it's really sunny and beautiful. It's like, oh, nothing wrong. But then the weather changes. So it's not necessarily even a specific locatable like spot on the planet. The powers are changing. The powers are radically shifting. So China is getting more power. Russia's solidifying the power under one person. The United States is dealing with an internal power struggle. These things are going to keep shifting, and they will shift a lot. I am being shown a very beautiful sunrise. This will pass. It's not going to go on forever. It is going to go on for several years. Even after Trump, we're going to have several years of court hearings and truth commissions and, intense stuff. And not an easy time of it for us. And when I say us, I mean the world and America. There will be radical shifts in our society because 20% of the people unemployed are not going to put up with it. They're going to be righteous. They're going to get up and they're going to do their thing, and they're going to protest more radically than we've known in a long time. It will be in some senses like the 1930s again, with these fairly radical, I shouldn't say radical, these political factions that will evolve in reaction to what is happening. You're going to yourself, you viewer, are going to have to negotiate that. It's just going to be rapid changes. So you have to be prepared to change yourself. You have to be prepared to just be, well, with the guy I was yesterday, that's not going to be today. I got to do this. I got to find a new way to be. I got to find a new job. I got to like get rid of that big old apartment and go to a one room. I got to change. And it's just going to be this constant stuff. Understand that that's not a bad thing. That's really, something in you reacting to your environment and adjusting to what's available and reconsidering, like, do you really need all this stuff and all the vacations and all the drinking and all the whatevers that you have? Maybe you just like planting your back garden wouldn't be such a bad day, You could still have your friends over, just have them in your backyard. And under certain circumstances, grow things. I mean, if that's one piece of advice I would give you, grow stuff. Just getting your hands in the dirt is going to be a really useful thing in the future. And remember, you can't change your society 100%, but you can change yourself. It's a difficult process, and sometimes an easy process. But this is another thing that this time's about. It's about us changing ourselves. And again, I don't want to be hypocritical at all. I am engaging in a lot of changes in my world and my life. It's not necessarily pleasant all the time. It's work, but it is going to pay off in the long run. And again, I'm seeing that beautiful sunset. You will really have evolved. And I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you do. This evolution is going to be really important to the universe. All right? So thanks so much for watching.